Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spitballs.
Back.
Long time coming.
Season three.
Uh, this is actually the first time we're doing Spitballs at the start of an NFL season, so that's pretty exciting.
Better content for the fans.
Um, yeah, so guess we'll just dive into it. We'll start with just our division predictions, I guess. And where do we want to start?
We could start AFC North.
AFC North? Okay. Greg, you want to take the lead on this one?
I think the
Are we
Ravens are going
going?
to hit out by a little bit. I think the Steelers are going to come in second, and I think the Browns are going to come in third, and the Bengals are going to be fourth.
Wow. Why Bengals so bad? Burrow's
I don't know,
back.
like Burrow, I don't know. He just like doesn't really do it for me.
He doesn't do it for you at
He
all.
doesn't
Why
do it
not?
for me.
And, I don't know. He always gets injured. Like it's just weird.
I'd go. I'd personally go. Ravens won by a lot too, if I'm being honest. I'd probably go Bengals two, Steelers three. At like Steelers go 9-8 probably. Bengals 10-7. Ravens like 12-5. And the Browns win maybe 6 games.
Really, I think the Browns might do good. Honestly,
I don't know. I like their
watch
I think
Deshaun play.
their defense is good, but Deshaun, I feel like Deshaun's trash. I don't know what happened to him because he used to be good, but
He
he's been
was.
trash ever since he left Houston. Um, yeah, that's what I got.
I don't know, man. I think the Browns are a better team than we think they are.
I think
I
defensively for
think they're always
sure.
just underrated going into the season because they're the Browns, but
They still have Stefanski, right? He's the head coach.
Yeah,
The Browns
yeah.
have been good like one
The
year though,
coach.
ever.
I
I think the
mean,
Steelers also.
Jerry Judy might be a decent pickup for them.
I forget.
And then if Nick Chubb comes back to
But
full
like
strength,
you're playing these three teams 6 times.
They are.
They're worse
That's why I
than
think the Steelers could finish
Well,
high. They
I
always
think
could win the division.
the Browns split with the Steelers and Bengals and lose two to the Ravens would be my guess. I think the Ravens are by far the best team in the AFC North. I don't think any other team
I don't
actually
know.
touches them, if I'm being
I could
honest.
see the
Who did they
Browns
even get?
beating the Steelers
Yeah,
twice
who did
this
they like
season.
add? They
I mean,
Derrick
if
Henry?
yeah, but like it doesn't even matter. They didn't lose anyone really big, I feel
the
like.
Bengals they
Uh,
didn't they didn't lose anyone either.
yeah, I know, but I don't think the Bengals are nearly as good as the Ravens are. First of all, Lamar Jackson, best quarterback in the division. Um, yeah.
By like a little.
By
Like it's not
like,
like
I think a lot. I actually think Lamar is miles ahead of Burrow, probably miles ahead of Josh Allen too. I think Lamar is QB2 at this point in time.
Fair.
Um,
yeah, but I think it's Mahomes and then there's a tier with like Lamar and Burrow in
see,
that
I
tier.
think I think Lamar is
I
way
think
out.
Lamar, I
Lamar's got
think
two
Lamar and
MVPs
Mahomes
now.
are in a tier of their own.
Yeah, I think.
Mahomes is a tier of his own no
Nah,
matter what.
I kind
Lamar
of
could have a
disagree.
second own tier of
I
his
think
own.
Lamar is closer to the Mahomes tier than the Burrow and Allen tier, if it were up
So
to me. I don't know. Who else is doing what Lamar's doing? Like, he
I
doesn't
think
even
if you
need
put Lamar on
receivers.
the Chiefs, like they're gonna do the same thing they did with Mahomes.
All right, well, I have the Bengals winning the division, but I
Really?
had the Rams coming in second, and then the Steelers, and then they're actually going to be my wild card team, the Steelers, and then the Browns in last
Taking
place.
in the
You
wild
don't
card at
believe in
nine
the
and eight
Browns?
and losing
Dude, the
first.
Browns have a good team.
I
Browns
know
have
they
a
do,
great
but
O
like
line.
all of them have a good team.
The AFC North is stacked.
The Browns would win the NFC East, but like,
Probably,
I don't
actually.
know. All right, let's talk about the Steelers. Where do we see strengths in the Steelers roster right now that
Um,
could put them in the wild card?
their defense.
Their
I'll
running
give
back is
you.
Najee Harris,
And
who
Jalen
has been
Warren.
pretty disappointing. They
Jalen,
have two new quarterbacks, one of which is 35 years old, right? And
he started.
then very unproven wide receiver core. I mean, George Pickens is pretty good player, but I'm
Alvin.
not sure.
I actually think Russell Wilson was like not that big of a problem last year for the Broncos. Like
So he
he's
had
gonna be fine.
4,500 yards.
Yeah, like he's gonna be good. He's going into a team that they had an offense with Kenny Pickett last year. They still didn't they make the playoffs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Yeah,
did,
like
right? Yeah.
they're obviously upgrading at
Could have
quarterback, and
beat
it's
the
by
Bills
a
if they
lot.
had TJ.
What?
They have a great strength at the only position you really need a strength in, and that's head coach. I mean, like
True.
the difference
The
between the
offensive line's a
Steelers,
problem though.
the difference between the Steelers and like the Bengals and the Browns is the head coach. I don't trust Zach Taylor or Kevin Stefanski nearly as much as I
Zach
trust.
Taylor did make the Super Bowl.
What?
The Bengals like made the Super Bowl 2 years
Yeah, I
ago.
know that happened one time. They
Yeah.
did make the Super Bowl one time. That's true.
The Ravens made the Super Bowl.
No, they haven't. Not yet. The
But bro,
Bengals made it one time. Every other year, it's been the Chiefs. Good for the Bengals. They beat them once.
Burrow's the only quarterback that can beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
That too.
Who has in the AFC, right?
Brady. That's it.
Other than Brady. I don't know, man. If Burrow's healthy the whole season,
Yeah.
I
think if
don't.
he's
They're not that
healthy,
much
like
different
they're
of a team
did
than they
Chase even
were.
play? He's not
Yeah,
even
I
playing.
mean, Jamar Chase showed up to practice in street clothes today.
but if the
Yeah.
I mean, but
Bengals
that could change. That could change. Like CeeDee
if they
Lamb
have
was.
Plus,
Burrow
he
and
sit him
Chase, they're
out when he
just
has
as
2 years.
what?
He has 2 years left on his contract, and he's trying to hold out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but if Burrow and Chase play the whole year, they're just as
Bro,
good.
at the end of the day, they're gonna pay him. Like they're gonna pay
Yeah.
him.
Like CeeDee Lamb
You
was obviously
want your
good.
number one receiver with you in camp, like
okay.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at the Bengals roster. Like they have two pretty good offensive tackles starting. Mike Gesicki's a good tight end.
I didn't even know he
I
was a
mean,
tight end.
Yeah, I didn't know. He was on.
they
He-
lost Mixon, but I mean,
Who's their running back?
we could have that argument of how important the running back position is.
Yeah, losing Mixon, I don't think means
Yeah,
anything.
that actually keeps
Uh,
the team exact
I
same.
know their backup is Chase Brown
Their
because
secondary is kind of thin.
Yeah.
I can't lie. Secondary is kind of thin. But,
that might work out well for the rest of the division with shit receivers throughout the entire division.
The Bengals just don't strike me as like a gritty team.
Yeah, I don't
The Steelers and Ravens do play like a different brand of football than the Bengals.
Yeah,
know. I think Burrow had one Mickey Mouse run, and now
That's crazy.
he like catapulted himself to the top of the quarterback list. When I don't think does he really deserve to be there? I'm not.
Not at
Sure.
the
I mean, he's
top,
up.
but
The
he deserves to
NFL
be
is
in the
always
top like
raised.
10.
Okay, obviously he's top 10, but like he's got the second best quarterback in the
But I think
world.
he's like closer to 1 than he is 10. Like top 5, maybe. By test.
I probably have him at like 4, but also for some reason there's like not that many good quarterbacks in the league
Wait,
right now.
isn't he coming off a second ACL surgery?
Is it his second? Yeah, he had one in college, right?
Didn't he tear it in rookie season?
Or yeah, he did. Chase Young
Yeah.
demolished his ACL.
I don't know, bro. 2 ACL surgeries.
It's
A lot of
good
people aren't
point,
the same
too.
after.
Now we're asking the important questions. Okay.
This isn't what Stephen A. Smith is asking. This is what we're asking.
All right. Shall we go to the AFC East and the New York Jets?
Yeah.
Nah, let's go to like the South first.
Okay, we're doing the South.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
can cover
feel
the
like the
Jets
South
last.
South's pretty easy. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna have the Texans at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think we should talk about the Texans
You know
first.
what? I was about to say, I don't know if I have the Texans at 1.
Really? I mean, I definitely have them at 1, but also I think
I have
Stephon
it.
Diggs makes them worse.
I
Personally,
think the Colts are just going to be really good.
I'll
Anthony
do
Yeah, I
like
think-
They almost made the playoffs last year. And they're getting
Pretty high on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I like Anthony. I'm kind of high on the Titans too for some reason or another. I think
Didn't the
Mayonnaise
Jaguars?
boy.
Jaguars almost made the playoffs last year. I mean,
Yeah, but I
Jaguars aren't terrible.
think they
it's a
might.
good division.
Trevor Lawrence has not been like what we expected, but he's still like a good quarterback.
Is he? Is he though?
I think he's like an above. I think he's like
Puts up Daniel
If his
Jones
name-
numbers.
If
So
his name
mean-
wasn't Trevor Lawrence, would you consider him a good quarterback?
no. I'm thinking he puts up like Ryan Tannehill, but like prime Ryan Tannehill level numbers. Like he's like a solid quarterback.
No, I mean in the NFL, bro, it's hard to get a quarterback that can play like as consistently and as on the level of Trevor Lawrence. Like
Yeah, like
he has saved the Jaguars from any QB problems they've had.
I
I
still
don't think they're gonna win the
wildly
division.
overrating.
And
I
there's
don't think they're
there's
gonna
never
win.
been any debate on who their starting quarterback has been since he's joined the team. So I don't know. I feel like
I feel like they can win like
the
7
expectations were
8
very
games.
high for him, obviously, but
All right, he had a good year in 2022. I'll give him that. He threw 14 interceptions last year and 17 in 2021. I don't
How many touchdowns?
21 in this year and 1 second. Dude,
Like
21
you're gonna start
touchdowns in
fixing.
2023 to 14 interceptions and 25 to 8 in 2022 and then 12 to 17 in 2021. Like those are
But that was his rookie year.
in general pretty shit
21.
numbers if we're being realistic here. He won one playoff game that he probably shouldn't have won and they just seem to get worse and worse.
He's never thrown more than 30 in a season.
Never thrown more than 30 in a season. He
It's
sits at
been,
around
it's been the
4,000 yards every
his
year.
rookie year stats like doesn't mean that much.
Okay,
And
if we
he
take
had like
out
2 full years. One was really good, and one was like slightly below average.
you take out his rookie year, he's thrown for like 8,100 yards in 2 seasons and 46 touchdowns to 24 interceptions,
Which
which
is like average.
It's pretty
yeah,
average.
like we're talking about him as Trevor Lawrence being a good quarterback. He's 16, maybe
Yeah,
15 or
he's around
14.
there.
The starter.
But I don't think that means they're going to be like terrible.
But their team sucks. Like we're talking about the Jaguars like they're
Yeah,
a
I
good
actually don't
team
know
with
if
an
I can
average
name him.
I
quarterback.
mean,
They're a
Evan
bad
Ingram.
team with an average quarterback that's supposed to be good.
Evan Ingram's pretty good.
Well, I do have Evan Ingram on my fantasy team.
Yeah, me too.
Gets me a
I
lot of points.
I mean, they have Trayvon Walker, who's former number one pick, going into his third
They have
year.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's pretty good. Eric Armstead's pretty good.
So they have a good D line. They lost wide receiver
I think they're
one.
the worst team in the division, though.
I do
One
think
of the
they're
worst
worse.
receivers though.
And Doug Peterson's a little bitch. So
Yeah, I think I've been convinced that the Jaguars are going to lose the division.
I'd go
Five
I'm
on
going
go
with the Titans.
I go Texans one. I think they win like 11 games. I go Colts two, maybe a wild card team, like 9 wins. I'd go, and then the Jaguars and Titans are around like 5 to 7 wins, probably.
I think Texans might win like 12
I think
plus.
the Titans are clearly the worst team in the South.
Well, I think the other three quarterbacks in the South are either better or are going to play better this year than Trevor Lawrence. I think
You
Will
think
Yeah,
Levis
Lawrence
is,
I
better than
really
Trayvon
like Will
Walker?
Levis.
I think Levis has shown flashes of being able to be like actually good.
Yeah,
Whereas Trevor was really good in college, so we all just assumed he was going to be the second coming, and he hasn't been. But everybody still puts him up there like he is, and he's not.
I'm
So,
still going to have the Colts one, and then the Texans two, and then Titans, Jaguars.
all right, shall we go to the West? Save the East for last. We can
Well, I
save the
mean, the
East for
West, if you
last.
have someone other than the Chiefs winning, you're wrong.
I don't, but I do think that the Broncos and Chargers could be competitive.
Yeah, but I don't think it's
I think the
if you pick
Broncos might be
against
good.
them to win the division, you're just wrong. Like that's not the right pick to make.
I don't know. We talk about having a head coach as the most important asset. I mean, Denver has a Super Bowl winning head coach, Sean
And you
Payton's experience, right? So,
You
you
could
know,
consider Wash though.
who?
He's pretty
Peyton.
washed. Sean
Andy
Payton.
Reid?
No, Sean Payton.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
I think he could turn Bo
I
Nix
think
into an
Payton's gonna
electric
cook with
player.
Knicks. I think.
I do think they're
I
going
think
to
he
be all
could turn
right, but
Nix
like
into
they're
a
not
very
going to
electric
win the
quarterback.
division.
I mean, they're probably not going to win the division, but I think they'll have a competitive. I don't think they'll be an easy win.
Zach Wilson was low key balling out.
All right.
The AFC
Wait.
actually looks
Let's
really good.
let's talk about the Chiefs for a second. Because while I think they're still gonna win the division, I don't think they're three-peating. And everybody that I see on like Instagram and Twitter is
Do
saying
what
like
they like to do.
they're just riding the three-peat.
I've been
Um,
brainwashed by the NFL social media.
I mean, like
I
I don't see why they can't. I feel like they're better than they were last
because it
year.
just doesn't happen.
I
I
think the
don't
It doesn't, but like
receiving core has gotten better.
either just how many Super
has
Bowls
it.
Patrick Mahomes has won in
They
his
got a
six
rookie.
years.
They got a
His 3 Super Bowls in his first 6 years. That doesn't happen.
If Mahomes
They'll
three
definitely
peats,
be in contention. I mean, they could be in the Super Bowl for sure, but
Like unless
we'll
someone gets
see.
hurt, I feel like they're definitely making the playoffs. Definitely not losing. And I can't see them losing in a first round game. Like they're going to be in it.
As
All
long
right.
as they have Mahomes, they're going to
Remember
be.
for a second, they were the 3 seed last year. They were not
Yeah.
like a
And they still
phenomenal
won
football team last year. And then they did win the Super
they
Bowl.
still won the Super Bowl.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just not happening again. I don't see a
They
world in
don't.
which the rest of the
They
NFL
literally
lets
could.
that happen.
They could just coast the entire regular season, and like as long as they make the playoffs,
I
they're
think
the
I think if they coast the entire regular season, they might not make it this year. I think their division is much better than it has been in years past. I think they could get caught with their pants down and maybe not win the division.
That's such a terrible team.
They started like 3-3 last year, didn't they? Like you start 3-3 again this year, you
Well,
might
who do
be
you think could win the division?
back. I think the Charger. Well, I think the Chiefs are going to win the division, but I think the Chargers and Broncos will be close. I think
You
the
know what
Chiefs.
the Raiders
I don't
Yeah.
like the
The
Raiders at
Raiders
all.
might be.
are. I like their coach
The
actually.
Raiders have
A
no
little too early.
quarterback.
It's a year too early.
Yeah, true.
I do
I
like
just
their coach.
the Raiders seem like they just there's no aura on the
The Chargers
Raiders
aren't going
at
to be
all.
I
like
feel like
good
there's
this year.
There's
no
no aura.
legitimate
No,
like
the Raiders have
talent on the Raiders other than Max Crosby, of course,
Devontae Adams.
and Devontae Adams. But I'm talking about like young, like
The Raiders' aura is
up and
that they're
coming
like
players. And Devontae Adams doesn't even like. I don't even think he wants to be on the Raiders right now.
Yeah.
Like
no, I'm pretty
more
sure he
more
stayed
times than
because
not, I
like
feel like I see
I'm pretty
reports
sure he
that he
said
just
if they
wants
didn't
out.
hire the coach, he would have left. Or he would have requested a trade. But then they kept the coach, so he stayed. Like their aura is that they like suck and they like just run the ball and play defense. Like that's their
Are
style.
they
They
good
don't
at either of those things though?
I don't know, but I feel like running the ball is a lot of like you just gotta want it more. Your offensive line. This
Yeah.
coach, like
Well, if that's the case, I promise you that there's no way they want it more than the Chargers. Therefore, bottom of the
the
division.
All right.
Chargers,
We get your Jim Harbaugh meat rider, but
yeah, like, the Chargers are not gonna be that good.
Why
Who's
not?
who's catching the ball?
They might not even have to throw it. So they
bro,
have a
they're
great
they're not
offensive
playing
line.
against like teams that they're more talented than.
They
Like it's
do.
the NFL. You can't just bully ball in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Oh, well, first of all, I do think you can
You go
bully
up against the
in the
Raiders
NFL.
defensive line, like they're like I feel like that's their identity, is their
Like the
defense. Like
Steelers D line, like you're not just
yeah, something like
running the
that.
ball down the throat. Like
It's
I
not
think they
gonna
might
they're gonna
find a
make you
way.
throw it
Even
and
if,
then
but
and then
like
realize you have no one to throw it to.
we're gonna act like Justin Herbert isn't miles better than JJ McCarthy. Like they
Bro,
can
this is
throw
the
the ball.
NFL. Don't compare like
Yeah, no, you can't.
I
You
don't think
can't
Justin
compare.
Herbert's
you can't
anything
like
to
make
write
that
home about.
comparison.
I just think Harbaugh wins wherever he goes. He's already won in the NFL by strictly running the ball. Let's not forget about that. He did that. They
It
lost in the
was
Super
a
Bowl.
I can
But
see the Chargers as a wild card team for sure. I don't think they're going to win the
There's
division.
so
running
many good
quarterback.
teams in the AFC. Like I feel like there's gonna be good teams that don't make a wild card, and
I
the
agree.
Chargers are probably.
I think the Chargers are a wild card team.
Michigan was also very bad the first couple years with him.
I mean, I have the
They
in the
weren't
NFC North
bad.
or
They weren't
NFC
the
North. There's
greatest
already
bad.
They
three.
were in a contest that they should have lost to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
That wasn't even the beginning of Jim Harbaugh.
I
That was
know.
almost the end of Jim Harbaugh. They lose that game,
No.
we're not having these conversations. But they didn't, so it doesn't matter.
Dude, there's gonna be a lot of teams that don't make the playoffs that are like playoff caliber teams in the AFC.
There's going to be 20 teams that don't make the playoff. No, 18 teams that don't make the
I know, but
playoffs.
normally they're like all like pretty mid. Like I feel like there's some good teams that just have to get left out.
I mean, isn't that how it always works? Should we go? Can we go to the AFC East?
It doesn't always work like that.
I want to talk about the AFC East so bad.
All right.
Tess, you want to start us off with the AFC East? I want your unbiased, unironic.
Obviously, I have bias.
opinion.
I mean, we can start with the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to be down there in the NFL this year. I don't think they're competitive really at all. And you can't even say that they have Bill. Like
Rod Mayo.
the whole Tom Brady Belichick era is over. So they're basically just a bad team now. The safe pick is to pick the Dolphins at number one. I think
That's
at the end of the
safe pick?
season,
What?
I think the Dolphins are going to be the
Yeah.
best team in the AFC East. probably. They have the most electric
until it gets
offense.
under 70 degrees, and then
They're a hard team to beat.
might get a little shaky.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I'm biased on the Jets, but I really like. I look at the Jets roster, and there's good players at every position on the field except maybe the safety, both safety positions. But I mean, they have an All-Pro cornerback. DJ Reed could be a Pro Bowler. Quincy Williams, All Pro. CJ Mosley's the guy. Jermaine Johnson made the Pro Bowl. Williams Pro Bowl. Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas, first round picks. I mean, and then the offense, the O line is so much better than it was. They have Tyron Smith, who's proven veteran in the game. All he's got to do is stay healthy. And then if he gets hurt, they put in a first round pick in Olu Fashanu. So, I don't. Obviously, like the debate is Aaron Rodgers going to stay healthy, but would you say Tyrod Taylor's a bad backup? I don't think. I think Tyrod Taylor could go in and win football games. So I don't know, man. I think the Jets.
The problem is that what?
I said I think Tyrod Taylor is the third best quarterback in the division, actually.
No, the problem that you have is you're looking at their roster, and it's the Jets, so that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good they are. They're the Jets.
That's not a valid. That's
just not the season will not.
The Jets last season had one. The Jets last season had statistically one of the best defenses. The chemistry on the defense is
and you still
there is no they're just the Jets. The Jets have one of the best defenses.
They're
I'm not saying that the Jets are going to be bad.
If Aaron Rodgers is on the field,
you're not
everybody's play is elevated because they rally behind him. So it's
even 2 years ago, didn't the Jets start off 6-2 or something? They started off with a lot of wins. It doesn't matter how good they play.
The problem with that,
they're not going to make the playoffs.
The problem with that 6-2 start 2 years ago was they were running the ball a lot. They didn't rely on the pass game at all. And Breece Hall was having a monster season, and then he tore his ACL. And then they had to rely on the pass game.
Something is going to happen.
The pass game failed. I don't think the pass game is going to fail this year, especially if Aaron Rodgers is there.
I don't know what it is. I can't tell you, but something will happen, and they're not making the playoffs.
They're just not they don't fight through adversity. They crumble when adversity comes.
I think they're the second best. I'll give you this, Tess.
I mean, you can debate that the Jets might be one of the best teams when it comes to adversity in games. I mean, Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first fucking drive, and then they ended up winning the game with Zach Wilson the first week. So they battled back against the Chiefs, and they lost a game that arguably they could have easily won. So I don't know. I think you guys just ate the Jets. That's all it is.
I think you're missing the point here, Tess. I think what Sal is saying is that it doesn't matter how good the Jets are, they're going to find a way to miss the playoffs because they're the Jets.
At some point, you could have said the same thing about the Cleveland Browns in 2020. Oh, they're the Browns. They're going to find a way to not make the playoffs.
Right for so long.
But at some point, that ends. At some point, you have a team that's a playoff football team, and you could say, oh, they're just the Jets for as long as you want, but at some point, it does end. It has to happen. They have a good enough team that can win games.
I don't believe that it's going to be this year. I won't believe it till I see it. I'm not just going to all of a sudden be like, oh, it's going to end.
All right, then let's go through the schedule. Let's go through the schedule.
We actually
here, I'll pull it up.
Jets fan gets heated.
Hey, I'm even I feel okay, this year it might be the year where they win 9 games and then don't make the playoffs just because of the schedule or the standing.
I got the schedule up. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Week 1, Monday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh yeah, that's a loss.
We're in agreement here that they probably start 0-1 at San Francisco. Week 1.
That says instead of word.
Rodgers plays the game. He plays the full game straight up. They just run into a better team the first week of the season. Start 0-1.
I don't think it'll be I think it'll be a competitive game. I mean, they could pull out a win, but I mean, if we're looking at the favorite is definitely the Niners in that game at home. But I mean, look at weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5.
All right, well, let's
All
go.
right, I'm going on to week 2
Titans.
now. Week 2, you get the Titans on a short week.
We'll give them the win.
Give them a
Yeah.
win. Rodgers
Good
probably
Titans.
still healthy at this point.
Playing
Hopefully.
a good defense against Will Levis. Like
Yeah,
they'll get it.
they should just win that game straight up. Okay. Week 3, Patriots at MetLife, Sunday night football. No, Thursday night football.
That's a win.
Another short week. Give them a win. They
Yeah.
do like to lose to the Patriots.
No,
I'll give them a
Sunday
dub.
night, they'll be too high. They won't lose that game.
Okay. So we got them at 2-1 right now. Then Broncos come into town. Home game for the Jets. What are our thoughts here? I think this might be a good game.
The Jets play well against the Broncos.
Where is it? MetLife?
Yeah, it's
I'll give them the win here.
The
I'll give them
Jets
the-
play well against the Broncos. I really don't see a rookie quarterback beating us there.
Okay.
And then
All right,
you go
so
against
now
the Vikings.
they're 3-1. Vibes are high. They're feeling good. Then they go into Minnesota to play the Vikings. Oh wait, no.
They're gonna be
This is
overseas.
9:30 a.m. I think that game's in London.
Mm.
It's another win.
It's a win.
Okay.
I
4-1.
Unless Sam Darnold has a revenge game.
Yo, that's
Ooh.
I'm giving a loss actually. Sam Darnold revenge.
I
Yeah,
kind of
no
like
problem.
I like Arnold in that spot too, if I'm being honest.
Would you be sad if that happened? If he threw for like 500 yards?
Nah, I like Sam Darnold.
So Sam Darnold puts up a 40 burger on the Jets with 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. We're happy for him.
Let's go back to reality. What do we actually think?
That's what I think is gonna happen.
Wait, this game's in London.
I think so.
Yeah.
It says
I feel like
9:30 a.m.
I feel like it. I feel like they
Or like
could.
Germany or something.
Let's give it to the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm giving it to the Vikes.
Okay. All right. 3-2. The Bills come into town at MetLife
I
again.
say the Jets win this one, and then they
Yeah, the
lose.
Jets
I'm gonna be
always seem
honest
to
with you
find a
guys,
way.
like I really don't see the Bills as that much of a threat, really.
Well, I have the
As
Bills winning the
some
division.
people may
I
think.
have the Bills winning the division.
I don't know why
Absolutely.
you think they're not good.
The AFC East is very easy to pick. What has happened the last 5
Yeah,
years?
the Bills
I don't know.
are-
There's no wideouts on the Bills that could perform well against the Jets secondary, I feel. I feel like
Okay.
that would be a great defensive game for the Jets. I mean, obviously Josh Allen's good, but when he turns the ball over, if the Jets offense is executing, I don't see it. Like I don't. I mean, we beat them
I
last
mean,
year.
well, we gave them the win this week. I think they lose it in Buffalo.
All
I
right.
don't think they sweep the Bills.
Jets win that game 4-2. They go into Pittsburgh for a Sunday night football game. I think
That's a
that's a
good-
loss for
Against
sure.
Mike
really-
Tomlin.
I think Mike Tomlin dominates them.
Yeah, I'll give them the loss.
Steelers don't lose in prime time.
Mike Tomlin's not on the field. He's not a player. I don't know
He's
what.
the most important to the team.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, who's the better football team?
One
Definitely.
better coach.
I don't know. I disagree. Historically, in the past few years, they've beaten the Steelers. They played really well against the Steelers. So
This is
Well,
Russell Wilson
just-
retired back.
If
Yeah.
history has taught us anything, it's that the Steelers find a way to win games and the Jets find a way to lose games. So I think we see that in full force on that Sunday night. I got the Steelers winning that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday night in the Berg.
Okay. So
Should
now
be
we're
tough.
at 4-3. The Jets go into Foxborough then to play New England.
I think they finally sweep them. But they swept them last year, didn't they?
I don't know, but I feel like they always find a way to lose one.
I feel like the Patriots.
I'll give it
And at this point, we're talking week 8 or 9 right now,
But I
too.
feel like
Like
the Patriots are going to be so bad. The
very,
Jets are gonna-
very possible that by week 8 or 9, Drake May is elite and Aaron Rodgers is back in.
If we're giving the Jets the loss to Sam Darnold, we got to give them this win.
Okay. All right.
bro,
That's
you guys are coming up with scenarios that like make it seem like teams are gonna like go crazy and what if Drake May is
he could
the
be.
second coming when he plays the Jets?
I'll give him the
Like,
win against the Pats.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got him at 5
What
and
if
3
Sam
now.
Darnold throws for 500 yards?
Then
Like,
5-3 is like a good record.
what if
Bro,
Aaron Rodgers
imagine
throws for
Pat,
500
could have
yards?
said last year, like imagine CJ Stroud is elite. and beat the Jets, and then it actually happened.
I don't
Well,
even think Drake May is like
He's
the
the
head
same.
coach really said he's the second best quarterback on the team. I don't even think.
well,
Alright.
speaking of CJ Stroud, next week the Jets have the Texans.
Ooh.
Where's this game? It is at MetLife again. This is a big game. It's a big game for the just AFC landscape as a whole. We got
What's
the
the
five
record
and
right now?
three Jets. What?
5-3.
We got the 5-3 Jets. Mid-season showdown. I think this one might have been Thursday night football too.
The
It
Texans
is.
take.
It's on Halloween.
Yeah, I think the Texans take it. I
If
mean,
there's a
CJ Stroud's
receiving
better
core
than
that
Aaron
stacks up
Rodgers,
with the
right?
Jets secondary, it's this one.
CJ Stroud is better than Aaron Rodgers. Like at
DJ
this point in
Stroud.
time.
They got Texans as the better quarterback. I think they have the better coach. Um, I just think in general the Texans offense is hard to
I think
stop.
that game could go either way. Like we're predicting a game that's 8 weeks from now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
obviously it's like a coin flip,
Yeah.
but on paper,
It's an
I think
NFL game.
the Texans are better.
Anything can happen.
Okay, so we're giving the Texans the win there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5-4. They play the Cardinals next. I don't even really think we need to talk about that one. Um, Jets should win that, right?
6-4.
Okay. Then they play the Colts. They're
We're
six and
beating the
four. I
Colts.
feel like Sal's gonna start eating his words real soon because I'm looking at the schedule and like it's kind of light.
I think they win the Colts.
Bro, the thing is, there's so many like none of these games I can really confidently say the Jets are
Yeah.
going to lose.
Yeah.
So it's you can't
But
just
like also we're not factoring in that someone
Houston's gonna
tear
be
their
tough. Like
ACL
there's some tough games, but
or like
there's a lot of winnable games on the schedule, and I
All
okay,
think
right,
they're
for
in
the
yeah.
good.
rest for the rest of the schedule, let's take. All right, Aaron Rodgers, Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson. One of them's gonna tear their ACL. Who is it gonna be?
Let's say like Mekhi Becton.
Garrett Wilson, he hasn't yet.
I think Greg's
I hope
right.
he doesn't
Garrett
though.
Hey,
Like
Wilson.
he's
Mekhi
a good player.
Becton.
What?
Did Sal say Mekhi Becton?
Yeah.
He's not even on the team.
He's not.
No,
No.
bro, Sal is not locked in right now. He
I
is
didn't
not
know
locked in.
the Jets offensive line.
Okay, so we got the Jets at 7-4, and they go.
They beat the
Seattle comes
Colts.
to town. See, like now I think they're 8-4.
Okay. Yeah,
Against the
they're
Seahawks,
8-4.
like I think they're
This
eight
is
and
this is
four.
what it's like. They're still the Jets. They could be 8-4, and I still wouldn't pick them to make the playoffs.
Okay, then they go to
That's kind of
Miami.
wild.
They get
I don't,
Miami.
bro.
Both.
I don't think you can just say they're the Jets. Like that's not.
I,
There's
it's
no
been
I
like
think
logic.
you
13
can say
years.
that, but it's like it's gonna happen at some point. Then they're gonna make
It
it.
is, but
So
That's what I'm trying to
I'm
say.
not
Like it
gonna
has to. It has
think
to.
in
They're
my
not going to
mind
I
that
think
it's
it
miss
could
it
be
gonna
the
like
happen.
year.
forever. I hope.
I
It's
think
like
it
the
is the
NFC
year,
East.
personally.
What?
I think it is the year. I think the Jets are a wild card team. I think
Yeah.
the Bills win the division again because that's what they do. I think the Jets win 10 games,
I
and make
think
the
the
wild
Dolphins
card.
win the division.
All right.
I think
Well, I'm losing to the
I think the
Dolphins.
Dolphins come
You
in
guys
third.
love Josh Allen. You guys love you,
why
Frank.
why wouldn't I love Josh Allen? Give me one
No,
reason
I
why.
mean he's a great player, but I don't think the roster is good enough right now to win the division. I don't. I don't think they're that good anymore. I think their window for making the Super Bowl has closed. I think they're.
I think with Josh Allen there, their window is always
Yeah.
open.
I mean, they lost Gabe
Their
Davis, who
window
was
for
such a
winning the
huge.
Super Bowl might be closed just because the Patrick Mahomes and like the other teams in the AFC, but their window for being a good football team is not closed.
Yeah, but you have to be a great football team to win the division, especially the AFC East right now. And they lost Gabe Davis, who was such a major part of like
Were they a great
a
football team
lot of their
last year?
playoff
Yeah, I
wins.
don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they were a great football team last year, but they found a way. Like the
Like
Grills, the Bills embody grit more than anyone else in that division. The Bills embody grit.
Well,
like I feel like
I think they lost a lot of pieces on their
They did lose a lot of
on their
pieces, but
team.
they also lost one anchor that was weighing their offense down.
I think a lot of times we look at teams and we see that they lost a bunch of people, and we think immediately that's a bad thing. But I look at it like they got rid of a bunch of old ass motherfuckers. And they reloaded. They probably reloaded with draft picks that they really liked, and the Bills keep winning, so I'm gonna trust them to win again because that's what they do. As
I
a
mean, I
trust
think
in the
that's a very
playoffs.
positive way to look at it. I think you could also say they lost key pieces that helped them win games.
We said that about the Chiefs when they lost Tyreek Hill and then they went and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Those
So
key
like,
pieces are
that's
replaceable though.
what?
You could replace those pieces. Like you can't replace Josh Allen.
Exactly. But Josh Allen's still there, ready to
Yeah.
fuck shit up again.
I also think
Um,
Sean McDermott's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
yeah. When he's not making 9/11 references, he's probably pretty good.
When did he make a 9/11 reference?
Oh, you don't remember that? Oh, that was hysterical. He t he was trying to like motivate the team last year, and like one of his pregame speeches, he said something like, "You think the terrorists at 9/11 gave up? They had a plan and they executed it."
Damn. That's a crazy fire up speech.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, that was like
That's
a
crazy.
big thing.
Last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Damn.
You didn't see all the memes with like Sean McDermott's head on face on like Osama bin Laden's head.
Maybe I did.
Yeah, everybody's got to lock in apparently. Okay, should we continue with the Jets record, or have we decided that they're probably going to win a lot of games and this might
Yeah.
be
Don't miss the playoffs.
because
I think
I'm
three
looking.
out
So
of
they're
four
gonna
of
miss the
us are
playoffs.
saying they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So consensus is playoffs.
consensus is playoffs.
All right.
None of us think they're going to win the division though, but three of us,
It could
right,
be
Greg?
close, but I don't think they're going to win
Yeah,
the
but I
division.
think the Bills are gonna win.
Yeah, I think the Bills are going to win the division. Tess has the Dolphins, and the three of us have the Bills.
I have Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
That's what I have
Okay.
too. But you think just the Bills make the playoffs? Interesting. All right, NFC time. Um,
Well, I mean, I think two of the playoff teams are coming from the North, so I don't think there's gonna be
Wait, yeah, should we just give our playoffs real quick for the AFC?
I mean, we have all our division winners,
Yeah, I go
and then
Ravens 1 seed, Bills 2, Chiefs 3, Texans 4, um, Bengals 5, Chargers 6, Steelers 7.
all right, I have Colts or Chiefs 1, Bengals 2. Uh, I guess Bills 3, Colts 4, then Ravens, Steelers, and Texans.
Texans 7.
Chiefs, Ravens, Texans, Bills. Who did I say? Steelers,
The Jets.
yeah, Jets, and then
Oh, I forgot about the Jets.
I think the
Oh,
Browns.
actually,
Browns sneaking at 7.
Oh,
well,
I'm gonna have to
yeah.
replace the
But
Steelers.
I'm
Jets,
also
sorry.
I'm gonna change the Texans and
Whoa.
Steelers. Texans are my 6, and Steelers are my 7.
Tess.
Yeah, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs. Then I'd probably go Chargers,
Wait, who's the fourth
Jets.
division winner? The Dolphins.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I said Dolphins.
Well, you only said three, but you did say
Yeah,
Dolphins.
Dolphins. And then Bills, Jets, and then Bengals. I don't think the Steelers are gonna make the playoffs this year.
I don't either.
Wow, bro.
NFC. Let's start with the South because nobody really cares about the NFC South.
I'm moving to the NFC.
Um,
Ooh,
I think
Bucks.
Bucks. Yeah, I think it's either the Bucks or the Falcons.
yeah.
I'll trust my
I'm
guy
actually gonna
Kirk
take the Falcons.
to
Yeah,
get it done. Yeah, even though
I think
Arthur Smith has like half a brain, I think
they have good
I like the
offensive
Bucks.
pieces.
They're pretty gritty.
the Bucks are gritty. But they're gonna run
Baker,
into
Bucks
a
are like an
buzzsaw
8-win
week
team.
one. So unless there is a different scenario for the NFC South, and that scenario is Derek Carr gets hurt week 5, Spencer Rattler comes in, sets the league on fire, and wins the division. That's the route that I'm
one
gonna take,
possibility.
actually. I'm gonna take the Saints 1, Spencer Rattler.
You say
And
Saints 1?
yeah,
Like,
just because Spencer Rattler. Just because that's my guy. Then I'll go Falcons 2, Bucks 3, Panthers 4.
All right, I'll go Falcons, Bucks, Saints, Panthers. I don't think it's like very high.
I'll go Bucks, Falcons, Saints, Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it really
Pretty
doesn't
entertaining
matter
game.
because like whoever wins this division is going to
Yeah,
lose
they're
in
gonna
the
be the four
first,
seed. They're gonna miss.
unless they get the Cowboys, in which
I
case
don't know, the Bucks usually do good in the playoffs recently.
that. Yeah, but I think your brain might be deceiving you because you watched Tom
Brady.
Brady for a couple years. So
Didn't they win last year in the
Didn't they
playoffs?
beat the
yeah,
Cowboys?
they beat the
Or
Eagles last
Eagles?
year.
Yeah. Like that doesn't
Yeah, that doesn't count. The Cardinals beat the
Facts,
Eagles the
facts.
week before. So
All right, let's go
yeah,
to the North.
we can talk about the North. This is a good division, or it should be a good division at least.
I'm gonna give it to the Packers actually,
Why? See,
because I think
I see
Jordan
it's
Love is the
why,
best
and
quarterback, like by
I don't
far.
think Jordan Love is the best quarterback in this division.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'd take Goff over Love. Everybody talks about like Jordan Love. This is a problem that we have with quarterbacks. We talk about a lot. Jordan Love beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. If that is the benchmark for being a good quarterback, is beating the Cowboys in the
His
playoffs,
first time in the playoffs.
hundreds of good quarterbacks. What?
He was good. If you like watched him play last year, he was so good.
He was
Like
a
he
good
made
player.
throws
He
that
had
like
9 good games and got 300
he made
million
like
dollars. That
special
doesn't mean
throws.
he's a great quarterback. I don't.
Well,
Everybody's talking about Jordan Love. It was actually today. I saw somebody today on ESPN say that if you're starting a franchise
Yeah.
today
You want Jordan Love.
and after Patrick Mahomes, if your next pick isn't Jordan Love, you're wrong. That's
okay, he's
ridiculous.
not that good, but
He's not that
He's up
good.
there.
he's good.
Why? Why is he up
Did you
there?
Bro,
watch
I
his
think,
games last
Yeah,
season?
you
His first half he was
dude,
terrible.
they
You
they
couldn't like
paid
see the
him all
field.
that money like he has to play
He's
good.
so good.
And then I
Like,
saw another one actually. It was like the Texans offense and the Packers offense, and it was like which offense is better? The Texans offense is better. Where the Packers have zero proven receivers. A
Yeah, I
couple
will
of them
say
had
that the
good
weakness
games
is
last
definitely
year.
receiver, but
What?
the weakness is definitely receiver. But
Absolute receiver.
he did it last year with nobody. And I also think Josh Jacobs is actually a pretty good pickup.
See, now we're talking about running
I
back.
okay, I know running backs don't matter, but like it is a good pickup.
Is Josh Jacobs going to do anything different from
nah,
what Aaron
bro,
Jones
if you
did
can
last
They have a
establish a
good
good
coach.
running game, like you're gonna be a pretty good team. I like
Yeah, but you can
that
establish the
takes so
run
much
game with
pressure off the
any running
quarterback.
back. It's establishing the
Listen,
running
I
game
think
comes down to the offensive line, not the running back.
if you look at this division and you want the best coach and quarterback duo, it's close with the Lions, but the Packers are the best.
You think the Packers are gonna win the NFC North?
And then I have the Lions in second.
After the season the Lions had last year,
Yeah.
I don't see how in the
Bro, I
world you
low
could take
key you
anybody
could argue
besides
that
the
the
Lions.
you could argue the Lions are a Super Bowl team.
You
Like,
absolutely could.
You could
Easily.
argue they're the
I'm not
favorites,
saying they're going
bro.
to miss the playoffs. I'm saying I think the Packers are going to be good.
I don't know.
I don't think better
I
than the
mean,
Lions.
the
Bro.
Packers, like, is their defense like I don't think they have any real star power on their defense.
I think the Packers, I think they sit around like 10,
Jair Alexander.
whatever they had last. I don't think they got like miles better. I think their defense improved slightly. I think Jordan Love will probably play a little bit worse because he did just get paid, and they'll probably be around the same as they were last year.
They
I
I
almost
don't
think
know
they'll be
where
good. I don't
they
think
were
they're gonna
like
win the
one game
division.
away from the playoffs last year.
they made the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah. Like I don't understand why this is such a hot take.
I think they're going to make the playoffs too, but
And
people
Yeah,
are
no,
talking
but
about them like there
the
should
Lions
be
are
a
the
Super
best
Bowl
team in
favorite.
the
They're
North
not.
for
just because
sure.
they were the best team last year doesn't mean they're going to be the best team this year.
Nah, they were
I
They were a good team last
great.
year, and they're probably only going to be better. I don't see why they would be.
Yeah,
All right.
the Lions are very young and they're young and they were already good. Like
And
they're
they have a
only
good head
getting better
coach.
this year.
All
And
right.
like the Packers maybe improved a little bit, but I don't think the record will reflect that because of how much better everyone else in their division also got. So like when people talk about the Packers as a Super Bowl favorite, it personally pisses me off because
I
they
don't think they're
should.
Super Bowl favorite. I think they're going to win the division. The Packers could literally beat them, or the Lions could go beat them in the playoffs. Like I don't care, but I feel like they could win the division.
Okay. And then who do we think comes in last? The Bears or the Vikings?
The Vikings.
Man, I don't think so. I really
I think
don't.
it's the Bears.
I think it's the Bears.
Yeah, I think the Bears.
Oh,
That a part of me just wants the Bears to fail so badly. So
I
like,
think it'll be close. I don't think any of them are gonna have really low records.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think they'll all be like it'll be close between the Vikings and
I mean,
the
what did the
Bears. I
Bears
think one of
do
them will be
besides get
500.
Caleb?
Well, they revamped their entire offense, like Keenan Allen, Ramadan's, DJ
Yeah,
Moore.
true.
But
The
Ramadan's
unders.
is unproven, and judging by the Giants' hard knocks, they don't like him that much. So there's that.
No, they would have
Um,
drafted him.
I
That
forgot they had one. He's tough.
they said if
um,
they traded back, they would have drafted him.
I think Keenan Allen's best
DJ
days
Moore is on the
probably
Bears. He's
behind
pretty.
him. So,
Yeah.
and
I think the Bears have a pretty
Their
good
defense was
offense.
also not bad last year at all. Like their defense was
no,
pretty.
their defense is. I'm also Montez Sweat like 2 days ago said some shit about the Commanders, and now I hate him too. So he's on my shit list. I hope the Bears lose every single game this year, if I'm being honest. I want them to suffer more and more and
All right,
more.
with that, can we talk about the NFC East?
Well, let's do the West real quick, and then we'll finish off with the East because I feel like that'll have the most fireworks. Um, okay,
I like the Rams.
I think the Niners win the West, but I do like the Rams this year.
Yeah.
I think I think they put up a fight. I think the Seahawks and Cardinals are pretty mid to bad.
The Seahawks are going to
Um,
be really bad.
I don't know if the Seahawks would be really bad. Sammy Howell could sling it for them. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it probably comes
I,
down to
I,
game.
I I agree with that. Like the Rams are going to be good, but I think that the Niners should be better.
Yeah, I mean
The
it's pretty
Chiefs.
pretty
Rams will
fucking
make the
hard.
playoffs, I think.
Yeah, I think the Rams will make the playoffs too. I think the Rams sit at like 10 wins too, probably.
Rams,
Not
Lions, Giants is the
Yeah.
wild card. Like it's already decided.
what?
The Rams, Lions, and Giants is the three wild card teams.
Oh yeah.
And the Giants.
And the Giants, obviously, they're a shoe
Fair
in.
touchdown passes in the preseason.
Might as well not even play the games because we
No, we
can
actually
pull those
good
Giants
idea.
in for 7.
Lock it in.
Yeah. All right. I don't care about the West. Let's talk about the NFC East. The greatest division in football. Probably unironically the worst division in football right now. But um, let's get into it. Should I start?
Let me
I
go
don't
first.
want to start.
Let me go first.
You want to go first?
One of you two guys.
In last
Okay,
place,
start with the Commanders, and then I'll laugh at you and act like you're an idiot.
in last
Okay.
place, I have the Eagles.
I love it. I love it.
They were so bad last year. They lost their most important offensive piece was Jason Kelsey by far.
Yeah, I think Nick Sirianni gets fired mid-season.
And then,
I love that
yeah,
take too.
no,
I think that's
I fully agree. I think their leadership is terrible. I think Jalen Hurts isn't that bad. AJ Brown's good. Saquon's obviously a good player, but as a team, they're not a good football team.
I
Saquon's a good
100%
player.
agree. I think from the top down, there is a complete lack of just overall.
Tell us how you feel about Saquon Barkley. Sorry to interrupt you, Frank.
Oh yeah, I mean, it sucks. Like it really sucks that he went to the Eagles. But
Yeah,
if I were him, if I were the Giants, I would.
that's right. Going near the division rival. That does suck.
If I were the Giants GM, I would not have paid him. It sucks that he went to the Eagles. There's really nothing we can do about it. I don't like him for going to the Eagles. I feel like that's on him more than it's on the Giants. But he's also a good football player, like obviously.
A good football player at a position where
Yeah, he really screwed himself up by going to the Eagles more than anything. But in third place, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Second place, I have the New York Giants, who are going to be the 7th overall wild card team.
I didn't even have to say it. He said it.
And I have the Commanders in first. And here's my reasoning. The Eagles are not winning. They're not a good team. The Giants are obviously not winning the division. The Cowboys can't win the division because they won it last year. So it just has to be the Commanders. And I do think Jaden Daniels is good.
I feel like the Cowboys are just miles ahead of everyone else.
Oh, I absolutely
I agree with you, but I'm not.
They
Yeah.
are the best team in the division by far.
Like if I had to put money on it, I'd bet the Cowboys. Except I kind of wouldn't because it's the same as the Jets are going to jet. No, they're not going to win the NFC East again.
I'll go Cowboys, Giants, Skins.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning the division.
You have Giants in
And
second?
I think that I should be laughing at
And
you
Eagles in last.
for saying the Giants are going to make the playoffs this season. That's almost ridiculous to even say those two things together
I
at this
really
point.
like don't think it is. If you compare the roster from this year and 2 years ago, this one's better by far.
Yeah, but I mean,
Here's
the
my
Giants have become such a dysfunctional organization. Like
Why? Like, what has been dysfunctional about the last two, three
the way they've handled
since Joe
Saquon
Shane got here?
Barkley and then the Daniel
They
Jones
did the right thing
situation.
with
they did
Saquon. They did
absolutely
the
did the right
absolute
thing with
right thing with
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley.
I don't know. I don't think Hard Knocks was a good look for
You don't pay
them.
running backs.
I thought Hard Knocks was
Don't.
fine, actually.
I
Okay.
don't know. I
My
don't believe
NFC
in.
East take here, real quick.
What?
Can I give my NFC East take here, real
Hey,
quick? Okay. Unfortunately, Sal, I do think the Giants are the worst team in the division. I think the Eagles are organizational wise and coaching staff and everything like that. They suck, and I don't think they're going to be good enough to win anything important. But just the talent on their roster alone is going to win them enough games to
We
not come
did
in
beat them
last
last
place.
year.
We should have beat them twice.
They're not a good
Their
football. I
head
don't know
coach
how you
is a
don't have them in last.
moron. Their coordinators don't know what they're doing. Their quarterback can't throw the ball. But the rest of their team is so damn good that like they should win at least 8 games. I think the Cowboys, if I had to bet, I'd bet on the Cowboys to win the division. But the Washington Commanders very easily could go 0-17. I think they just as easily could go 17-0, though. They
Yeah.
are a complete open book. Jaden Daniels, I hope, and I kind of think is going to be the next great quarterback in the NFL. And I think if we have this conversation in a year, it's not even a question who's going to win the division. It's the Commanders. But right now, I'd go Cowboys win like 11 games, win the division. Commanders sneak in at 9, make a wild card spot. The Eagles win like 8, and the Giants win 6.
I just want to go back to the Giants. Like, what part got worse from when we made the playoffs?
I
Like,
don't think
apart
we
from
did,
running back, which
I don't think
but
doesn't,
you compare it to a season 2 years ago
because
when
we
they
made
made
the
the
playoffs.
playoffs.
it's a different league.
But I think there's people saying that like if the Giants like they cannot make the playoffs, it's impossible. I don't see a chance. I'm not saying they
any
will.
one of those 4 teams can make the
I'm
playoffs.
not saying they will make the
After
playoffs. I'm
down.
saying that there is a real chance that they could if Daniel Jones can play how he did 2 years ago. And I feel like they don't get that respect.
Okay. Should we go?
I
Is
just
anything
there's
else
nothing
anybody
like
else wants to say about the NFC East? Tess, you look like you want to say something.
I don't like the Giants team. I don't think they're a playoff team. I
I'll
don't.
say that
It
as
doesn't
much
matter
as
how
I
good Daniel Jones is. I don't think they're that good of a squad.
as
It's
much
just
as
as
I
simple
like
as that.
Jaden
I just don't.
Daniels, I feel
Okay,
like
Greg.
as much as I like Jaden Daniels, like I feel like he's gonna suck.
Don't say that. Don't say
I
that.
hope
Don't.
he doesn't, but
Why do you think he's gonna suck?
he just like he was filthy in college, but like just like watching his game, like you're not gonna do that to like NFL players.
I mean, I
It's
think
like
he threw
it's
3
like a Bryce
incompletions
Young
I
in
will
thing.
say that's what
preseason.
people said about Lamar.
I
Nah,
think he. I think it was the Dolphins game. He didn't even play in the Dolphins game like 2 nights ago. But whoever was announcing it said that he compared him to Lamar Jackson, and I think that's the best comp that there is.
I think it is.
Because I think coming out of college, he is Lamar Jackson, but just a little bit better of a passer than Lamar
He's
was.
also a little bit worse of a runner.
oh, so he's just the best player in the league?
No, he's a little bit worse of a runner, I
A
think.
little bit worse of a runner, a little bit better of a passer. And I think again, have this conversation in a year. I think he could be the best player in the league. You
That
never know.
like,
I hope he's good. I like him. He's a good guy.
Okay.
I hate
Should
that
we
you
go?
have like this kind of hope because you're not like wrong in thinking that he could be the best player in the league.
Oh, I've been trying to temper my expectations so much. I'm too far
Like I
gone.
wish I just had that sense of hope where it's like my quarterback could be the best in the league.
I am all in on Jay. If Jaden Daniels comes out and tears his ACL, I might just kill myself because I just can't handle another one. I cannot handle another failed quarterback.
Just
So
jealous of you for this offense.
really praying he's good. Okay. Full NFC playoff predictions, and then we'll do hot takes. We'll call it an epi. All right. I got Niners 1, Lions 2. Okay. Cowboys 3, and Saints 4, I guess. Then we'll go 5 seed Packers, 6 Commanders who beat the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs, and 7 Rams.
All right. I got the Niners at 1, the Packers at 2, then the Falcons at 3, the Commanders at 4, then the Lions, the Rams, and the Giants.
I mean, Giants doesn't even know what his own favorite team is called.
I said Giants.
I thought you said Jets. I heard
No.
Jets.
I definitely said Giants.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Lions. Cowboys. Then Niners. Then what's the other division? South. Oh, Bucks. Then Packers 5, Rams 6, and Giants 7.
I like it.
I agree with Greg. I just would change Giants for the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm very low on the Eagles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
can
feel
we
like
just
everyone is very low on the Eagles. And like,
can we just rebrand Spitballs to be a strictly Eagles hate podcast?
yeah,
Because I could talk about my hatred for the Eagles for
But we'd get so many
they're just like
views
a
from Philly
dysfunctional
fans.
organization.
they
Like they actually are.
Greg, that take about Nick Sirianni fired midseason
Yeah.
was like pure gold to my ears. I
I was looking to make
100%
that my
agree.
hot take.
I actually know they're not a dysfunctional organization because I think their GM is actually like decent. I think from the coach down, they're so dysfunctional.
I think it's Nick Sirianni. Like you can't be
It's
that
absolutely Nick
obvious
Sirianni.
coach.
I hate
I
that
hate Nick
cocky
Sirianni.
bastard so
I hate
much.
yeah.
Bro, you're not on the field. Like you're supposed to be calm. You're supposed to be a leader. Like
His WAR is probably like -5 for the NFL. Like if they replaced him with an average coach, they'd win 5 more games.
his wins above replacement.
There were so many reports last season that they were having problems with him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's
And like,
gone.
that can't just be like fake news.
No, it's him and Hurts that have problems, and that's
Yeah, that's what I'm
a
saying.
huge issue.
That is
That's what I'm
that is an
saying.
issue. It's
That
especially
can't
an
just be like
issue
fake
when
news. Like
the
there
two
has
of
to be,
them
there
both
has to be
suck at
something
their
going on.
If I were Howard Roseman, I would fire both of
And they
them
lost to the
and
Jets.
restart.
and restart. Okay. Who's got a hot take?
I'll give my hot take because kind of goes with the NFC East prediction. My hot take is that today the Giants have a top 5 defensive line in the NFL.
Who are the other five? Who are the other 4?
I haven't gotten counted. I just look at the Giants defensive line and I know that's a top 5 defensive line.
Yeah, I could pull them.
I'm assuming like I don't know, like the Niners probably better.
And then have
Steelers, Niners, Browns,
Dexter
Jets.
Lawrence.
Steelers have a really good D line.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon
Cam
Thibodeau,
Hayward,
Brian
TJ,
Burns.
Highsmith.
I forgot about Brian Burns.
Like that's 3 out of your 4 rushers are very, very good at football.
Cowboys are up there.
I mean Brian Burns is Dexter Lawrence is top 2.
Dexter Lawrence is
in the league.
the best at his position in the league.
I think Brian Burns is up there.
Brian Burns should.
Kayvon's kind of a wild card, but like he was a 5th overall pick. He did pretty good last year.
I don't hate it. I don't know if
really
I put
like
up
that.
top 5. I think they're anywhere between like 6 and 10, probably.
And I
They're
feel
up.
like defensive line is a very important position group in football, and you can win games if you can dominate on the defensive line.
I don't hate it. I think them and the Eagles are right there at 6 to 8 wins. So,
All right, next.
All right. I think week 4, Justin Fields comes in for the Steelers and is an MVP top 3 candidate and leads them to the playoffs.
MVP candidate Justin
What's
Fields.
their record when he comes in?
Yeah, what's their record? That's
They're
right.
1-3. 1-3.
They're 1-3 when he comes. When what do they
And-
finish?
And Russ gets like benched.
No, they're like 1-2, and they're like losing bad at half, and like they lose that game. But Russ comes in, or Fields comes in at half, and like gives them something to look forward to, and then they finish the year 10-7.
So Fields goes 9-4.
I can see that.
I don't disagree that Fields could come in, go 9-4, and lead into the playoffs. I don't think that gets him in the MVP conversation.
Oh, I think if he comes in and goes 9-4, he's definitely in the MVP conversation.
Definitely top 3. There's
I
gonna
mean,
be
unless they're
Mahomes at
winning
the bottom.
games like by like 10-3 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, in the top three for MVP conversation, there's only one spot available, and the season hasn't started yet. So,
Patrick Mahomes and Jaden Daniels.
well, I was gonna say Lamar, but yeah, you could throw Jaden up there too. Uh,
Yeah, you can just throw him.
um, I agree with half your take. I don't think he'll be sniffing the MVP conversation, but I think any quarterback could win games with Mike Tomlin and show what they got.
This is fact.
I don't hate
The
it.
offensive player of the year.
All right,
I
Tess, you
feel
want to
like you
go?
guys are overrating Mike Tomlin a little bit.
What? Literally never lost a season in his
They've been
life.
500 like a lot
They've
recently.
literally not once have they ever gone 500 or worse. So,
No, I'm pretty sure like
They
they've
went
been,
they went 8-8 a couple of
yeah, they
times.
were
okay.
8-8 last year, and then they were like 9-7, like or whatever, 9-8.
Mike
They were
Tomlin
9-8.
literally zero times in his career has had more losses than wins. Hasn't happened a single
I know,
time.
but it's not
He's
like they're
had some
going
pretty
like
shitty
it's not
teams.
like they're going like 12-5 consistently every season. Like they lose games.
Yeah,
Like they're
because
not.
the talent on their roster has been garbage. But
They had
Mike
Ben
Tomlin
Roethlisberger
doesn't
when
give
he
a
couldn't throw the
fuck.
ball. Like it
I mean,
was
I don't think they're
10 yards.
that much
This is
better
the best
talent
team that
wise.
Mike Tomlin's had since like before COVID.
Yeah.
Since what?
Before COVID.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
I
Tess,
remember
you
they
want
were
me
13-0 or something. We were like the eye test, and then they
They were
lost.
11-0, I think. That's crazy. They won 11 straight.
till Alex Smith came into town,
Um,
the Washington football team.
All
The
right.
Alex Smith Award.
All right, Tess, you want me to go?
Yeah, you could go.
Okay. All right. I'm giving you guys an offensive and defensive rookie of the year pick. They both come from the same team because the offensive defensive rookie of the year usually, not usually,
Frank wants
but
to be the Texans so bad.
frequently come from the same team. And that team usually is a team with a lot of picks in the first couple rounds of any NFL draft. So your offensive rookie of the year for this year will be Jaden Daniels. And your defensive rookie of the year will be Mike Sainer still, who Sal's looking at me like he doesn't even know that name.
I have no idea who that is.
Because
I
that
know.
guy's going to pick off Daniel Jones at least 3 times this
Was he a
year.
second round pick?
Yeah, he was, second round.
I've heard
Um,
that.
he was a cornerback on the national championship winning Michigan team. He is a slot cornerback that will be playing the Deron Bland position in Dan Quinn's defense.
Oh,
And he will get a fuck ton of interceptions, and he is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
we
I
have to
like
do
the
those
Jaden
guys.
pick. I don't know about. I feel like it's hard to win defensive rookie as a corner or a defensive
I
back.
think I think it's hard for like top tier defensive corners to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I think if you get a lot of interceptions, like you're right up there. And I think Sanders still is going to be up there in the league in interceptions this year. He's converted wide receiver to cornerback. He's only been playing corner for 2 years and was good enough to be a second round pick. Give him another year with professional coaching, he's going to be unbelievable. So that's my take.
We'll see.
Can't disagree. He gave some good reasoning.
Yeah, he did. All right, Tess.
Valid.
I could my hot take. I didn't say this in my playoff predictions, but I could honestly see the Falcons being like a 7 seed playoff team this season with Kirk. I think they could have a pretty explosive offense with Bijan. And they have some good young guys. Kyle Pitts is hoping to have a good year. Their defense is all right. I mean, they got Matthew Judon. They have Justin Simmons. I don't know. I think they could be competitive, and the division isn't really all that good. I mean, the Buccaneers are a good team, but we got to see if Baker can do what he did last season. And then also I could see Tommy DeVito being the Giants' starting quarterback towards the end of the season, midseason. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to play well this
You
year.
think he's gonna get like benched?
I think they're going to bench Daniel Jones, and it's going to be the same thing as last year. They need a spark, and
Well, they
Tommy
didn't
will
bench
go.
him. He got hurt.
Yeah, no, but like they need a spark. They put Tommy DeVito in.
You're
I think
sounding
it could
like
happen.
last year they benched Daniel Jones to put down DeVito.
No, I guess he got hurt. Yeah, but
All
I
right,
mean,
so
Tommy gave him a spark.
Oh, also,
we're
yeah.
rolling the polar picks for our hot takes. Greg with the Steelers, South Giants, me with the commies, and Tess with the Italians.
I
I
did
feel
pick
like
the Falcons to win the division, so I agree with your first take.
Yeah, no, I don't think the Falcons take was like hot at all. I feel
Yeah,
like
like I feel like that's a solid take.
No, I mean, I don't think a lot of people have them really winning the division this year.
I feel like yeah. I mean, if Spencer Rattler wasn't on the Saints, that was kind of a joke. Like, while I do think if Rattler played, he would be pretty decent. Like, I do realistically think the Falcons probably win the division, but like I can hope. So, anything else? Anybody? I want to say one more thing before we wrap up, and I just want to put this on the record. It has nothing to do with football, but I do think that this is the Yankees' year. I think
Oh yeah,
they finally get it done this year.
it
I
has.
think the rest of
It
the
has.
MLB, there's not one single team in the MLB that is like miles better than anybody else. I think the Astros scare me a little bit. They've started winning, and that scares me. But I
Astros
like
are a
our chances
postseason
against the
juggernaut.
Orioles. I like our chances against Cleveland.
I mean,
And
I've said this all year. We're either going to lose to an AL East team or the Astros. Like we're not losing to the Guardians. The Royals just passed the Guardians. We're not losing to the Royals.
But we got to save this for an MLB episode.
all right, we can really dig into the MLB once the playoffs are
For sure.
rolling.
Also, by the time we post our next episode, Aaron Judge is going to have like
55.
58 home runs.
Yeah. He hits like two every night.
No,
So
it's actually like insane. I check every time I get an alert that the Yankees scored. I have to check to see if Aaron Judge hit home because it's like 50% of the time it is.
yeah.
I think they're clicking well. Like there's really
The
like the
team,
pitching's
the
been
team like
iffy
likes
at
each other.
times.
Like this is like a good group.
All
I
right.
think the pitching is going to be pretty good going into the playoffs.
I mean, Cole's going to be good. Peel's coming
It's
back.
I
Spitballz
think
Nation.
Yeah. All right, we gotta wrap this one up.
We do. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming back for a third season.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in.
Season 3, best season yet coming.
Yeah. Football coverage all season.
We'll
Count
see.
on us for your daily.
Yankees playoff baseball.
Yeah. All right.
Spitballz out.